by everything he heard in her testimony, because the judge held a bench conference with the lawyers in the middle of Stormy Daniels' direct testimony outside of the hearing of the jury, in which the judge told Donald Trump's defense lawyer that Donald Trump had committed contempt of court right there in his chair in the courtroom this morning. The judge: I understand that your client is upset at this point, but he is cursing audibly and he is shaking his head visually, and that's contemptuous. It has the potential to intimidate the witness, and the jury can see that. Mr. Blanche, I will talk to him. The court: so I am speaking to you here at the bench because I don't want to embarrass him. Mr. Blanche, I will talk to him. The court: you need to speak to him. I won't tolerate that. Mr. Blanche, I will talk to him. The court: one time I noticed when Ms. Daniels was testifying about rolling up the magazine and presumably smacking your client. And after that point, he shook his head and he looked down. And later, I think he was looking at you, Mr. Blanche. Later, when we were talking about The Apprentice, at that point, he again uttered a vulgarity and looked at you this time. Please talk to him at the break. Mr. Blanche: yes, I will. Immediately after the lunch break, before the jury was brought back into the courtroom, defense attorney Todd Blanche asked the judge for a mistrial, saying that so much of Stormy Daniels' testimony was, quote, unduly prejudicial, including details like Donald Trump, quote, not wearing a condom. Todd Blanche raised that and said, this has nothing to do with why we're here, that the details of the sexual encounter were, quote, extraordinarily prejudicial, and you can't unring that bell for the jury. The district attorney said the conduct that Stormy Daniels described as a witness was precisely the conduct that Donald Trump was paying to try to hide. The judge noted that he sustained almost all of the Trump lawyers' objections to that testimony, and then said in a very direct professional insult to the Trump lawyers, quote, I was surprised there were not more objections. That was a signal to Donald Trump that his lawyers did not do a good job in that section of the trial. The judge said that he will issue a limiting instruction to the jury to limit what evidence they can use from Stormy Daniels' testimony about those details in reaching their verdict. On cross-examination, Trump defense lawyer Susan Necheles spent a full hour of flat, unrevealing question and answer before ever getting to Stormy Daniels' testimony about having sex with Donald Trump. Susan Necheles used the word pornography several times to describe what Stormy Daniels does for a living. It was all leading to the one point that Susan Necheles wanted to make for the jury. Question: you were looking to extort money from President Trump, right? Answer: false. Susan Necheles did not complete her cross-examination today when the court session ended at 4:24 p.m. She had just begun asking